Hey everyone, this is Kaisel and welcome back. Now, I've played this game for a lot of years and I hate piston doors. I mean, I love piston doors, they look amazing, but I can never seem to construct any of my own. So I finally decided to, throw off the shackles and try and build one. And instead of going for, a 3x3 piston door like everyone else, I decided to go straight for the biggie, a 4x4 wall door. The reason I went for 4x4 wall door is because they are slightly easier than 4x4 doors. But yeah, here we go. We've got a fully functioning design. And let's actually have a look at this in action. So yeah, it's pretty musical. And the reason for that is this is a Redstone DOS-less version. As you can see, the circuitry consists of a lot of observers, a lot of power rails, and a lot of node blocks and lamps. But the point is, it works, and this can also work underwater. That's the advantage of Redstone. So yeah, and obviously, as you would expect, works on both sides and works like a champ. The closing is a bit weird on this end, but it gets the job done. So let's actually have a look at how this thing actually works. This is not going to be a block by block tutorial, but more on a guide as to what the thinking process was. So let's get started. Alright, so over here we've got the same design copied over, but with a few changes. Over here we've got some blocks just looking different. That's honestly the entire difference. So here we've got the birch blocks, which have absolutely nothing to do with them. But over here you can see we've got some iron blocks and then we've got some copper blocks. So the difference here is that the iron blocks are the ones that are actually forming the door. The copper blocks stay exactly the same. They don't move. So why is it like that? Let's actually have a look at this deconstructed. So before we actually get looking at that, this has three layers. So we've got the front layer, which is what covers this ring here. We've got the black layer which covers that ring, and then we've got the middle layer, which is what actually constitutes the two blocks in the middle. So we've got two layers which form this ring outside, and then we've got two blocks in the middle. So yeah, so first up we'll have to look at the forward layers which form the 4x4. So here's basically what you've got going on. You've got these three sets of blocks and pistons on either side in the sort of spiral pattern. They're slightly off center, and when they part, they form the 4x4. Now the way that this works is we've got just a lot of chain parting. This redstone parts this piston which parts both of them. We've got this node block which parts that one. We've got this observer which checks the node block, passes this part rail, updates all of this, sends a signal over to here. We've got another chain of node blocks which goes up, and then on top it's parting the same thing. Now I've not used the exact same circuitry over there. There's a tiny bit of moving around to make space for things because I was trying to make it pretty compact. And yeah, but this is the same concept. You've just got this chain of power going through the entire system, and it basically powers them in the spiral. Now that's well and good for the 4x4. Now what about the 2x2? So for the 2x2 we had to figure out a thin version of a double piston extender. So over here, this is the design that I came up with, and yeah, it's pretty simple. These all these three observers are pointing that way. If I was to show you here, yeah, so they're parting this block in front. But as you can see, there is one major problem with this. This does not retract the blocks. Now, unfortunately, I really didn't want to have tons of circuitry just for this final retraction, so I figured out a slightly cool alternative. So here we've got the same design, but we've got these two observers on either end, which are slightly different. So once again, this works the exact same way, and on the retraction, it leaves the blocks out. But now what we can do is we can actually power this observer and this observer independently, and it retracts the blocks back. Now where do we get this signal from? Well, you actually get it from this one here. So if you were to look at this build right here, you can see this is where you've got the 3x3, the 4x4 in front, and this is the 4x4 behind. They are actually off-centered a bit. And over here we've got the double piston extender itself. As you can see, you've got the two lamps over here. What we're doing here is that we're actually borrowing the signal from the powering of this line and using it to power the piston that is right over there. And the same thing happens here. So this power goes all the way through. It then passes this powered rail, which then updates this observer, and over here we've got the observer over there. I have definitely broken the door right now. And the same thing happens on the other side. We've got the double piston extender here. We are borrowing the signal from this extension right here, And then from down below, we've got another observer, which is borrowing the signal from the front. This passes this, which goes here. Oops. Sorry, actually, it's borrowing the signal. It's borrowing the signal from here, which is taking the signal from up top here, which is taking the signal from here, which is taking the signal from over here. That's getting the signal from this line over here, which is actually what ties in with the button in front. So obviously this version won't work because I've totally broken the build here. But no worries, simple fix. And now this is working once again, yeah. So yeah, that's how this 4x4 wall door with no redstone works. I hope you understood anything I said. I'm just personally really proud of this build because piston doors have always eluded me. They're way too hard for me to design, but yeah, we finally have one, and I must say I'm pretty proud of it. So anyways guys, thanks for watching. This means guys, and I'm outside. Ciao for now. Let's see you in the next video.